Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back. Another week coming up in the market. Happy Labor Day to everybody. And yeah, just making sure all the stream settings are good right now. I don't know why my overlay just keeps on like pausing. Let me see if I can fix that really quickly. Let's try that out. Alright, hopefully that's better now. But yeah, what's up everybody in the chat? Is it still doing it? Always something or the other, but everybody's already in the chat. Keep hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button if you didn't already. Pretty excited for this week. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Clover, Wall Street bets and all that in a little bit. But here's the drill. We're gonna be talking about Bitcoin, crypto for like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on the overall market going into this week. Then we'll talk about Clover. After that, we'll talk about the ongoing trades. And then we'll do a take request if we still have time, which we should. I think we should. But yeah, Bitcoin just continuing to do very, very well. Quadruple hidden bullish divergence on the daily is currently playing out. We talked about that last week, currently around 52.5K. We even talked about this double bottom off the 200-day moving average, like just, I mean, ever since down here in the falling wedge with the bullish engulfing candle at the $30,000 mark, I was pretty bullish back in the end of July, and it's been a very, very nice run. I mean, since then, it's already gone up about 78%, so not too shabby. Also got the RSI. It's actually currently not overbought, maybe a little bit of bearish divergence. It's making higher highs on price, but lower highs on the RSI. That can be invalidated though for Bitcoin. And then I think 4-hour bullish engulfing candle, maybe. Close to it, but it doesn't look like it's textbook. That's really it for Bitcoin, but if you're in the Discord or if you follow me on Twitter, I gave out a free alert on Litecoin last week, and currently that's up about 19% since the alert. I think this was alerted towards the end of last week, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember exactly when. It was somewhere around like the 2nd or something. So yeah, good stuff on Litecoin. It broke out like hours after I shared that alert. Target is 245. I think there's a good chance it can get there. A little bit overbought on the RSI not too long ago, but as long as it can continue holding above 191, it still looks good to me. But we'll see. It definitely does depend on Bitcoin. And actually, Bitcoin has been continuing higher. The Litecoin has kind of chilled back a little bit. It actually pulled back a little bit. So might just have to play some catch up there. I don't know what the rest of the altcoins are doing, but that's really it for crypto. I mean, the Chainlink alert from like July, I mean, since I think it was alerted at 15, and that's more than double. Like, crypto trades have been amazing. So if you want those, just join the Discord. I think every single crypto alert, apart from Litecoin, which is hopefully on its way, but apart from Litecoin, all the crypto alerts in the new crypto channel have hit their targets up until now. Let's talk about the market now. We already got 54 people in here. If you're new to the stream, what's up? I'm Champion Vibe. We're just vibing out, getting ready for the market this week. We're gonna be looking at charts, talking about what's going on. If you're interested in that, hit that subscribe button. If you're not, then it's okay. We're on the road to 3,300 subs right now. And yeah, make sure to join the Discord. The link's in the description. Appreciate all the support in the past couple of months, or just the past month especially. But yeah, futures slightly green, nothing too crazy, just still up a little bit, relatively just flat. I mean, NASDAQ futures are up about 0.1%. But overall, looking at the market, I'll continue saying this, nothing has really changed. The trend is still your friend for the overall stock market. Of course, some catalysts can change that. But for right now, as long as the S&P continues to make higher highs and higher lows on the daily, I'm still bullish. I know on the NASDAQ and some of the tech stocks, you are starting to get a little bit of some overbought signals, but I don't know, we'll see. You're still just making higher highs and higher lows. Mitch Ray talks about this all the time in his streams, where bearish technicals can underperform in overwhelmingly bullish conditions. He said that many, many times in his streams, and that's just true. I mean, you look at what Volkowski has done with his work on technicals. The trend of the market is very important when you're trying to identify technicals, right? So bullish technicals can work better in bullish markets. Bearish technicals can underperform in bullish markets, right? But that's really, I mean, going into this week, the market still looks like it's on autopilot. If we're going to be talking about mid caps and small caps, I mean, I tried to give everybody a gift down over here around August 20th. I tried to, and I said on that stream, you can go back to it, I said this might be a stream we'll be talking about in the future, because there's been a few legendary streams where like I talked about something in the market I was watching, and then oh well, it worked out perfectly. For an example, when the S&P was at the bottom of the wedge on March 5th, also in the NASDAQ was over here in the beginning of May. We had probably one of the best months for swing trades, you know, from May to June. And then even the arc was looking beautiful down over here. There was a bullish crab harmonic pattern, but I said the same thing a couple weeks ago on August 20th, where I was really bullish on small caps, mid caps after they had a horrible July and a pretty rough start to August. But, you know, for 2 consecutive months, mid caps and small caps bounced off the same level. So this is the ARC ETF, which tracks mid cap growth stocks primarily. And, you know, it bounced off that 114 level in July and in August, around August 19th and July 19th. Actually pretty interesting how it bottomed on the 19th of both of those months. And then the same thing for the Russell, pretty much. It bounced around the same area around the 19th and 20th of July and also the 19th and 20th of August. So 2 months in a row, 2 of the same exact levels, and it bounced twice. I mean, that means not once, but twice. All the market participants in small caps and mid caps said that at these levels, when, you know, the stocks within these ETFs were at these levels, they were willing to buy. They said that twice. And now you're seeing what happens when people confirm a buying level, not once, but twice in a follow-up month. So, I mean, the ARC even broke out of the 200-day moving average, this descending triangle we were talking about. I'm still, right now, I'm still bullish on mid caps, small caps, even large caps. Maybe they need a little bit of a pullback, but yeah, I mean, the trend is your friend. That could literally change tomorrow if some sort of negative catalyst comes out. You never know, but for right now, I'm not trying to be overly confident with the market. Still want to proceed with a little bit of caution. As per always, you want to manage your risk, but I don't see too much of any worries from a technical standpoint until things change. So that's really all I can, you know, share in terms of that. Gold looking pretty interesting back above the 200-day moving average. Even silver made a very nice move. If we go over here, silver is maybe breaking out of this little downsloping resistance line, so we'll see what happens this week. Hopefully it's a fun week, but yeah, you never know. So give me a second here. Let me read the chat and then we're going to talk about Clover. Alright. So yeah, we're only at 26 likes. Let's get to 40 likes right now. I mean, why not? That's really it. Just why not? I know we could do it. Helps to grow the stream, I think. I mean, I've been saying that for months, but we'll see. Even I don't know if I can I can't really pull it up, but actually maybe I can. How do I do this? I just don't know if this page is going to be full of ads. Yeah, it is. Whatever though. So look at this. So these are all like my YouTube stats. This right here, so this is the monthly gained subs for this channel. Actually, a bullish bat harmonic pattern played out on this. Let me show you what I mean by that. Okay, so if we come just like right over here, paste that on the chart, and we do this. Look at that, a bullish bat played out. Let me make this, how do I do this? Let's see. Let's send that to the back, and then let's make this yellowish. But you could see we got a bullish bat on the monthly subs that played out, like literally a perfect bullish bat. And what happened when it hit the PCZ of that bullish bat? Our channel has been mooning again, so thank you for all the recent support. I think almost 600 subs in August, which is crazy. I think that was pretty close to my all-time high for the amount of subs I've gotten in a month. Pretty much matches December of last year. So we got harmonics playing out on the channel. That's something cool. But yeah, the support has been really awesome. So let me go full screen again, pull up the Clover chart, and yeah, I'm just gonna look at Clover. After that, I'll recap the ongoing trades and we'll do take requests. But before all of that, let me take a look at the chat, because I really haven't looked at the chat just yet. There we go, 40 likes just like that. I told you we could do it. You know, I know things sometimes. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. All right. See what's up in the chat. Gunslinger says, been busy this weekend, saw THB's video, not sure what quite happened with Wall Street Bets. Yeah, we're going to talk about everything Wall Street Bets and Clover over the weekend in a little bit, like 5 minutes. Koki says, let's motivate the champion and FTM. Hit like, send vibes, and spread the love. I appreciate that. Wait, where else was I? Okay. Jed says, chill time, great TA, this is the place. Hopefully you all enjoy the streams. I try my best. I know some nights get a little bit boring when there's just not too much in the market going on, but that's just how the market is sometimes. We do have a good amount to talk about tonight, I think. We got Killaroo in the chat. Caffeine Somniac, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, says, CLOV, moon or no moon, buying a great underlying company at half to 1/3 value right now, so allows me to continue accumulating cheap, and as long as it steadily rises and others accumulate at these prices. Yeah, I mean, for everybody rooting for Clover, I'm rooting for Clover. I hope it goes well. You know, obviously there's no financial advice here, but just my opinion. You know, I'm personally optimistic of the future for this stock, but I don't know the future, so we'll see. Tar Heel's in the chat. Tar Heel's been crushing it. Go check out his YouTube channel, especially if you're interested in Clover. Says, thanks for hopping in this space. Let's go, Clove. Yeah, it was awesome to see you hosting that. Definitely looking forward to the next one. We got Zeke for Bleak in the chat. JJ says, need Vibes merch. I think we have a Vibes hat. It just says, yeah, I think we do. But yeah, that's the pin chat if you ever want to get merch or send a tip. Remember, super chats, pretty much whatever you tip me, half the money I won't get, between YouTube taking a cut and obviously taxes. But the pin chat, pretty much I get most of it, apart from taxes, obviously. Josh Tetras in the chat says, I'm going to be honest, how is Clove undervalued? Because Corsair have 1.7 billion revenue similar to Clover, and also Corsair's profitable. Is it because the market cap of the healthcare company? You know, when you're saying undervalued or overvalued, of course, you could be talking about in your opinion, or you could also be talking about on paper when you're looking at valuations. You know, I'm not exactly sure, you know, what was said in the chat earlier, but you know, I like Corsair as well. I don't know too much about Corsair fundamentally, but I can't really confirm or deny, you know, their financial statistics, but just from what I know about Corsair, I also know a lot of other channels that I watch are pretty bullish on Corsair. You know, it's really interesting. I mean, I don't hate on any stocks at all, really. I mean, of course, we could talk about Solo, but I never really hated on it. I just said I don't like their actual car. It's not the stock, it's the actual car I don't like when it comes to Solo. And I'm sure we're going to get the Solo fanboys disliking after I said that, as per usual. But yeah. We're about to talk Clove for probably 15-20 minutes, but before we do, just a reminder, the stream schedule is pretty much back to normal, Sunday to Thursday at 9 p.m. EST every single week. Obviously, this week was different because of Labor Day and the market being closed today. But, you know, the stream will be Sunday to Thursday at 9 p.m. EST, but on Tuesdays, I will not be the host of the stream. So basically, the stream will be live at the normal time on this channel, but I will not be the host of it. Starting tomorrow, I'm not going to be able to come back home on time from college, you know, to stream on Tuesday. So Mehdi and a couple other co-hosts we're going to be bringing in. You'll find out tomorrow. We'll be hosting the Tuesday streams. The format's going to be pretty similar, but obviously they're going to be different hosts, so they're going to have their own personalities. But yeah, definitely tune in tomorrow. It's not going to be me, but it will be on this channel, and I'm very confident that it's going to be a very fun time. I'll be watching if I can tomorrow as well. So yeah, make sure to tune in for that. Also, support Mehdi. You know, Mehdi's going out of his way to help provide content for everybody tomorrow because I can't make it. So make sure to support Mehdi. You know, drop likes on the stream. If you want to tip him, tip him. I'm not going to be getting any cuts of, you know, whatever you all tip Mehdi and the co-hosts or whatnot. However they want to split that up, that's all up to them. They're all very super chill about that stuff, so I really appreciate that. But yeah, definitely tune in tomorrow night at 9 p.m. EST. You're gonna learn a lot. That's all I'm gonna say. We got some very interesting hosts. We got very interesting hosts and co-hosts for the stream tomorrow. So yeah, let's talk about Clover now. All right, before we even talk about the technicals and whatnot, Wall Street bets. So let's pull this up. I really don't remember. You know, I think actually there's only one time I remember seeing this much chatter on Wall Street bets when it comes to Clover in just a few days. So I don't know the exact statistics. We're going to look at trading ticks in a little bit to see how crazy it's looking. But I mean, this is all just from today right over here, all these Clove posts. And then just the whole entire weekend, it was just nonstop Clover on Wall Street bets. So really interesting to see what's going on. I'm sure they deleted a bunch of Clover posts as well. But one point that Tar Heel was bringing up in his video today was they're really only letting the YOLOs go through. He was saying that he knows a couple people that were trying to post due diligence on Wall Street Bets, and they were just, I guess the mods might have been removing those types of posts and they're only allowing YOLOs. So, on one hand, it is really interesting to see how much chatter has taken place over Clover on the weekend. When it comes to Wall Street Bets, a lot of the times, I think a lot of people get stuck bag holding when it comes to a lot of the plays here. Thank you JL Cello 1978 for the sub. But yeah, I mean, it's just weird because, I mean, even I know this. I look around Wall Street Bets, not because I follow all their plays or anything, but just for social sentiment. It's pretty much becoming a part of stock screening and scanning now. You got to see what's going on with the Reddit and Twitter sentiment, trying to see what other people are looking at. But I always try and just, maybe once or twice a week, just look at what's trending on Wall Street Bets. And for the last 2 months, from my understanding, most of the Clover posts on this subreddit have been taken down. I don't know the reason for that. I don't think there was a market cap reason for that. I know they have some sort of a limit, but I think Clover is over that market cap limit. So I don't know why they deleted pretty much most of the Clover posts in the past couple of months. And again, I'm not saying that's a certainty. That's just from what I understand. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I doubt there's any mods from Wall Street Bets in the chat, but I'm just giving my interpretation of what I've heard from other people. I don't know the facts. But we're seeing that definitely in the past 72 hours or so, a lot of uptick on Wall Street Bets. Now, why is this interesting? On one hand, pretty much they're all just YOLOs, so I don't really know how that looks. I don't know if that looks, you can interpret that however you want. But regardless of how you feel about Wall Street Bets, I'm sure everybody has their own opinions, whether good or bad. I think most people can agree that, from what we've seen this year with GameStop, AMC, and a handful of others, Wall Street Bets, not only, I guess, just the actual form of Wall Street Bets is, really heavily, I'm not going to say influencing stocks, but backing stocks or whatever. But a lot of traders, look to Wall Street Bets and look at sentiment scanners to see what's trending there. And just a lot of people trade off of that. I think most people can agree with that, at least. So we'll see. We've seen many times this year over the weekend, some ticker starts trending on Wall Street Bets, and then the following week you see a crazy move up, but then also sometimes, or a handful of times, more than a handful of times, a crazy move back down. So we'll see how this kind of affects things. That's really, I want to just kind of leave it to all of you to interpret that how you want to. There's no point in me giving my own opinions on it. I'm pretty open-minded, but it's just interesting to me. So I'm going to just leave it at that pretty much, and we still have a lot more to talk about when it comes to CLOV. So let's go back over to TradingView. Let's talk about the technicals. Then we're going to talk about the options chain. We'll go over to TradyTix, but we almost have 100 people in here. I mean, prior to like August, we only had 4 or 5 streams with over 100 concurrent viewers. And in the past like 2 weeks, we've had like another 4 or 5 streams with like 100 viewers. So the support is insane. Keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all so much for supporting the streams. Hopefully you're enjoying everything. And yeah, let's talk about what's going on with technicals on CLOV. Friday, the morning was really hot for Clover. Went up to about 946, and then it pulled all the way back down to 862, which was a previous resistance. It bounced off of that and then closed around 884. So Friday was interesting. Volume was actually the highest it's been. Let's see. So volume on Friday, according to TradingView, which I don't think it includes, I don't know if it includes pre-market and after hours, but it says around 30 million. And the last time we got around 30 million on Clover, or over that, was around August 24th. On this day, that was up 10%. So we got pretty much the same volume on this day that we got on Friday, but you could see you had a flat day this time, but a 10% green day that time. So that's pretty interesting. And then we were talking about a few technical setups on Clover last week. And if you've been in the streams since August 19th, I mean, the YPOF, it's been playing out perfectly. People all over Reddit, I'm not gonna say all over Reddit, but I've seen a lot of talk about the YPOF on, especially the Clover Reddit, and even on Twitter as well, since that stream we had first talking about it. And it's just continuing to look very interesting, right? So this YPOF range, we can pull up the side by side really quickly. And I'll just loosely fit it onto the chart. I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time trying to make it perfect. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's see. Let me fix it like that. Okay. All right, so let's just call it something like this pretty much. It's been perfect. We started talking about the Wyckoff accumulation on Clover back over here when it was springing, and we sprung, and that was amazing to start. And then we got the amazing, move from 750-ish all the way to 9, just days after Clover is sprung. And then we went down into the LPS, which was the last point of support. We kind of spent a week just really consolidating on low volume there, flipping previous resistances, as you can see from over here, into your support. And then it went back up to the top of the range, pulled back a little bit at the top of the range on Friday. So, for new people in the stream, what does this all mean? What is Wyckoff? Basically, Wyckoff is like a century-old type of analysis created by Wyckoff, and really the aim of this is to kind of put yourself in the eyes of the composite man or the composite operator. Now, who is the composite man or the composite operator? Wyckoff describes this composite man as an imaginary figure controlling and manipulating the markets as he pleases, right? So a little bit of like an analogy behind this actual pattern and the different types of schematics, whether it's accumulation or distribution when it comes to Wyckoff. And we started talking about it, and don't thank me for this working out so well so far. Thank Wyckoff, right? This is just me sharing to you Wyckoff's research from a century ago. That's all I'm doing. I'm just kind of being the middleman here. So we've seen the Wyckoff range develop really, really perfectly. Obviously, this part we kind of charted after it happened, and this is where I kind of started talking about it. But yeah, I mean, you look for certain things in a Wyckoff range. You want a spring, which is pretty much a fake out to the downside. That's where the composite man or composite operator tries to shake out the weak hands and accumulate shares at the best prices before the markup in price. Then after you get your spring, you bounce rapidly off of it, and then you pull back a little bit off the top of the range. That's known as your LPS. It's your last point of support or last point at support, something like that. And what you want to see in an LPS, according to Wyckoff, is a pullback on low volume with low volatility, flipping previous resistances into supports. We were talking about that before it happened, and that is exactly what happened last week, okay? You got exactly that. You pulled back on low volume with a very, very tight spread, which means low volatility, and you had your LPS. And then what happened? You had a spike back up to the top of the channel. So where are we at now with all the Wyckoff? Well, I think we're around this area where we're just still testing the top of the range. Now, keep in mind, the LPS is coined the last point at support or of support, and it's a little bit of, a contradiction there, but you actually can get multiple LPS, movement. So maybe it happens again, we get another pullback on low volume, we'll see. But really, as long as you can continue to hold above 830 on Clover and close above that, then you're still good in terms of the LPS. And honestly, this Wyckoff is still valid as long as it doesn't fall under the previous spring. So I don't know if this lasts 3 more months or if it goes to the moon tomorrow, but the Wyckoff is still valid unless it does break under that 740-ish level. So even if it comes back down to the bottom of the range, then maybe just extend your phases out again. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just looking for certain signals and doing your best to try and identify potentially what phase we could be in. So going into tomorrow and just for this week on Clover, you just want to hold above last week's lows pretty much. You don't want to break under 8, that's for sure. And then in terms of, breakout to the upside, I think 920-ish is the top of the range. You kind of got to around 950-ish, but you really did not spend much time above that on Friday before pulling back under it. You can just see that, you tested over here on August 10th, you tested over here on August 12th, you almost tested on August 25th, you tested again. Just really the $9 to $9.50 areas where Clover about 5 times since July has topped out at. So you really want to see Clover eventually, obviously, break over that level, and then maybe you try and back test that after it breaks it. Try and flip that into a support, because you really haven't done that since it broke under that level in the beginning of July. So that's really what you'd be looking for. And then obviously volume. You don't want to just have another low volume move up to the top of the channel. I mean, most of these were kind of low volume. Every single time it got up to the top of the channel, it was on pretty low volume, except for this time right over here, I think, which is around earnings. So that's really what I'm looking at in terms of Wyckoff. There's another thing I want to talk about. Clover got a partial decline. What is a partial decline? Well, this is something from Thomas Bulkowski, another legendary technical analyst or developer of these technical patterns. I'm sure you've heard of the falling wedge, the cup and handle, the head and shoulders, Bulkowski is the one that really formatted a lot of those patterns and did a lot of research on those patterns. So I'm sure many people didn't know that. All these patterns that all these technical traders talk about, Bulkowski is behind a lot of them. And one thing Bulkowski also talks about is the partial decline. So when you have a pattern or a trading range or even a Wyckoff schematic, it is possible to get a partial decline. What does that mean, right? So you could see within this range, Clover was pretty much ping-ponging back and forth from the top to the bottom of the range, right? But what happens when you go from the bottom of the range, right? You have a move up in price and then you dip down again, but you don't go all the way back down. That's known as a partial decline, right? So you could see Clover went from the bottom of the range up over here to roughly the top. Then it bottomed out again before hitting the top, before going back down to the bottom of the range. What does that mean? That means that the bears were not strong enough to bring you down to the bottom of the range again, which shows that at this area, the bulls are finally regaining control within this range, right? So in this whole entire range, it was just a 50-50 between the bulls and the bears, bottoming at the bottom, topping at the top. But finally, the bulls were able to hold this level and not let the bears take it back down to the bottom of the range. That's known as a partial decline. Now, after you get a, well, how do you confirm a partial decline? You confirm it by going back up to the top of your range. So once you do that, you have your confirmed partial decline. And what does that mean? Well, when you get a confirmed partial decline, and again, don't quote me on this, please fact check me, but I think roughly it gives you about a 70% chance of a breakout above that partial decline. So as long as, like I said earlier, as long as Clover can hold above $8.30, according to Bulkowski's research, there might be about a 70% probability that Clover does break this range to the upside now that it has a partial decline. It pretty much just increases the probability of a breakout. So there's also that. And then of course, the cup and handle, we've been talking about it since really like August 25th. We even talked about it as it was breaking out last week. You broke it, you pretty much went up to the neckline, and then you pulled back there as well. So yeah, that's really the major, not gonna say major update, but that's really the update on the technicals. Also on the 1 hour, I just noticed this, you actually have, on the 30-minute, you have triple hidden bullish divergence. So that just, more and more bullish variables just popping up. And then another very, very short-term level is 882. That was, Tar Heel was talking about this on his stream last week. He was talking about it live on stream, that 882, really 880 to 884, you know, it was kind of your support for a couple days last week, or really the second and the third. Then you broke under it, but then you closed right back above it. So actually was able to reclaim that at the close. So going into tomorrow, final part of the technicals on Clover, supports are $8.30. Okay, that's your close. I'm actually, no, this is gonna kind of be weird because since you're in such a tight range, Clover has developed a lot of mini supports and resistances, but really your closest support, oh, what is happening? Oh my gosh, we just got like 4 subs in a row. Thank you to all the new subs. And we have 124 people in the stream. Wow. Thank you to all new subs. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. If you haven't subbed, well, you're missing out. But let me just finish this point because I already kind of forgot it. Great, what was I just talking about? I was on such a good roll. I'm not saying you all cut me off. I kind of just, it's my fault for forgetting. Oh yeah, supports and resistances. So 850 is obviously the common support. I think it's also around the max pain. What is the max pain? It's pretty much the strike price at which the most amount of both calls and puts will lose money at, which is, I think, good for market makers or something because it's more neutral. But 850-ish, it's been support and resistance within this range many times. It was resistance here, it was support over here. Then after that, you have 830, which was your low last week. And then after that, you have pretty much $7.85 to $8 as the strongest support for Clover, okay? That's pretty much your strongest area of support, $7.85 to $8. What's your resistances on Clover? Well, $9 psychological resistance. After that, like we just talked about, you have the 920-ish area as resistance. After 920, you got 990, which was your support back in, actually, it was your support back in November of last year. I thought it was January for some reason, when Clover was IPOC. So 990 used to be your previous support. It has been used as resistance now. You can see it was resistance on April 16th of this year. It was resistance on July 13th of this, or July 12th of this year. So you have 920 as resistance, then 990. After that, you got around really the mid $10 level. You have your 200-day moving average on Clover at around 1030, and then at 1050, you have a couple of these candle highs. If you really zoom in, you can kind of see them. Like on this day, you have it topped out 1057. On this day as well. On this day over here. And then if it can really get above 1057, that's when I really think Clover has a technical breakout. because that means it's above the trading range it's been in and above the 200-day moving average. Then there's a couple of gap fills between 11 and 13, as you can see over here. And then you have 13. 13 is the biggest level on the chart for me when I look at Clover. 13 was your support on June 30th. It was your resistance on July 1st of this year. 1320 was your 2-day resistance on February 9th and 10th after the Hindenburg short stuff. It was also your support in the middle of January. We actually had an amazing swing trade off of that back in January. If you were here back then, it was a really, really fun trade because everybody was talking about it when it was IPOC right over here, and I nailed the exact bottom and the top on that swing trade. It was amazing. And it was even your high from October. So that's 13. If Clover gets above 13, there's not much resistance between 13 and 17. 17 was your all-time high from January. Above 17, you just got your previous all-time high at 28. Above 28, well, you could, this is actually a really interesting thing we found, but if you use Fibonacci, and actually I used Fibonacci to predict the all-time highs, and again, you can go fact check me if you want. Around the beginning of June, everybody was talking about Clover when it was squeezing, and everybody was asking me what's the resistance, and it was all-time high, so there was no way I could look left on the chart and find a resistance. So I just used Fibonacci back then, and the night before it hit all-time highs, I said $28.80 was the Fibonacci resistance, and the all-time high was $28.85. So I was like 4 cents off from calling. I didn't call the all-time high, I just shared the Fibonacci level. And then even the day before that, I also shared the fibs. But if we do the fibs again, right? And again, it's really early to be doing this, but just it's really interesting. So if we go from the previous major swing high to major swing low, we go up to the 1618. The 1618 Fibonacci extension, which is a golden ratio, it's seen all around the universe. It's not just in technicals. Is 42. You know what the top of the options chain on Clover is? Around 43, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, you have the Fibonacci lining up at the top of the options chain. And I also think on that previous all-time high, it got a little bit above the top of the options chain back then. So those are all your levels on Clover. Hopefully I did a good job of breaking down those levels and explaining why those are your levels. So that's really the technical breakdown. I also want to pull up tradie ticks so we can look at the options chain. So if we go over here and we go over to options. Okay, we have 140 people. I don't know what's going on right now, but thank you to everybody watching the stream right now. This is the Clover options chain and whatnot. So first off, you can see that the call versus put volume calls are heavily outweighing puts in the last 2 days, pretty much Thursday and Friday. Let me actually switch over to this screen. All right, so you can kind of see, oh my gosh, the open interest on calls on Friday also went up really nicely. Historical premiums for both calls and puts though went up on Friday. So I guess there were some puts on Friday that printed. We were talking about that gamma exposure on the last stream. I'm not going to break that down again. You can go watch the last stream if you want. And then the open interest by spikes. I think the $10 strikes went up even more, and the 9 strikes have also gone up. I think I can't remember for sure. I think they went down for a little bit and then they went back up. I just can't really remember how they changed because of all the calls that expired on, I think it was August 20th. That was a really big day before. So the options chain for Clover is still pretty loaded. I mean, the $9, the $10, the $12, and the $15 strikes are the most important to me. If you know, I don't know if there's going to be a game of squeeze, but if you're talking about a game of squeeze, those are the most important strike prices. And we've explained the game of squeeze, you know, the idea of it previously on the stream. I think we talked about it last stream too, but basically market makers want to stay delta neutral. So when you get up to new strike prices, you know, sometimes market makers actually be buying shares to kind of stay delta neutral. And then once they buy those shares, that helps to raise the price, and then it gets them to the next strike price, and then just kind of creates a cyclical effect. Coach B does a great job talking about that on his channel, so feel free to go check him out. But yeah, that's the options chain for Clover. We'll see, you know, especially with everything that happened with Wall Street Bets on the weekend. It's just interesting. You know, as I've said many times in the past, none of this is financial advice. I'm just sharing what I'm looking at. You know, you make your own decision. Personally, I'm bullish on Clover, but I don't know the future. So I'm always trying to, you know, as a trader, I just like to stay open-minded. Obviously, I have my biases and my opinions, but at the end of the day, you just gotta always be ready for anything. You know, there's no certainty in this market if you're trading it correctly. You know, if you're trading it illegally, then there is going to be certainty, but don't trade illegally. So yeah, That's the, let me see what's up in the chat. We got like over 130 people in here. We almost are at 100 likes, so hit that like button if you didn't already. Thank you for all the new subs. Let's see if we hit 3,300 subs. Let me just see what's up with everybody for a second here before we continue. Yeah, we're 8 subscribers away from 3,300, so hit that subscribe button. Join the Discord, okay? If you want my trade alerts, join the Discord. If you want free education, join the Discord. If you want paid bots for free, join the Discord. Anybody can join the Discord. There's no paywall behind joining the Discord. There's 2,000 other traders for you to meet. And on top of all of that, there's a bunch of other people that help me out in the Discord, you know, all the mods. And just there's a lot of people that are very, very smart with technicals, fundamentals. A lot of people you can learn from if you're a trader. It's the free trading movement Discord. You can learn how to trade for free. None of us are financial advisors. We're just all trying to help each other out based on what we personally know. And then, you know, there's these, right? So trade sheet has been pretty good for the past couple of weeks. Is that Mauricio Chavez, thank you for a subscription. Just wait 1 second here. But yeah, I mean, you know, I don't only talk about Clover. You know, these are all the swing trade ideas I share. This was the week before last week. This was last week. This was the week before that. This was a crazy week. But yeah, all of these, like ones that are not blue, are free trade setups, right? So this, for example, this GameStop trade idea I shared, it was 39% profit in like a week. And all you have to do is be in the Discord or follow me on Twitter at ChampionVibe. And then the blue ones, those are for premium members. And I just kind of put them on the sheet after they either hit the targets or after they hit their stop losses, right? And that's when I kind of share what those tickers were. But all the links are in the descriptions if you're ever interested in the Discord, in tips, in merch, in premium, in also my full free course on my channel. Yeah, I mean, that talks about everything. If you're ever confused by something I bring up on stream, it's probably a 90% chance you can learn about whatever I'm talking about in the course. So the course, there's no paywall behind that either. That's in the description. It's on YouTube. And all that stuff is there waiting for you, so check that out. Let me drink some tea. Let me take a look at the chat. Thank you for the 100 likes. Thank you for all the new subs. Let me switch back over to the other overlay. All right. We got a lot of chat. So let me just kind of read the chat for a little bit. See if there's anything I can kind of talk about. Looks like I missed a lot in the chat too. All right, let's see where I kind of left off. Maxime says, "Hey champ, have you ever considered swinging options?" All the time. Aren't you a premium member? I don't know if I'm pretty sure you're a premium member. I don't know if that's somebody with a similar name or not, but yeah, we do it all the time in premium. We also do a lot of day trades there as well, but yeah, it just depends on the situation, on what the options Greeks look like, what the stock looks like, you know. Linta Glenn says a lot of those YOLO posts are from bad quotas from the previous spikes. It definitely could be. What else is in the chat? Sunny says, "I love the education." Glad to hear that. Robin says, "A lot of talk about the tighter the range, the more explosive the breakout. Is there any magic formula for the ratio?" Not only the tighter the range, but also the longer the range. I don't know the exact statistics on this, but just from what I've noticed in 2 years of spending my whole life looking at charts, or not my 2 years and spending all of my time looking at charts, not my whole life, but in 2 years of like dedicating my life to this, one thing I have noticed is, yeah, one, when you have a very, very tight range, that could lead to a big reversal to either side, but also when your range goes on for over a month or something, it just shows that there's a lot of equilibrium in the stock price, and once one side finally kind of takes an advantage, it can kind of be a big ripple effect to a larger move. But of course, every situation in the market is unique. So yeah, I mean, we were even talking about the Bollinger Bands, right? They're like 2 Sundays ago, I had a stream titled "Why CLOV Might Bottom This Week." It's still on my channel. It was right over here. That was pretty much that stream. And Clover was at the lower Bollinger Band. And the last like 3 times it was at the lower Bollinger Band, it bottomed out. It had a local bottom, right? And we were talking about that on that stream. And right over here, we talked about it again. And you see that we've had a nice move since that stream. But the Bollinger Bands are still pretty tightly squeezed together, which again could imply a large spike of volatility in the short term. But again, you haven't seen that yet. You really need volume for that. And we've always been talking about volume and volume and volume, because none of these technicals and whatnot, they don't really matter unless you get volume, right? Unless you get price action. So we'll see, you know, going into this week with everything that happened, maybe that does increase the volume. And that kind of adds on to everything else we've been talking about. But time and time again, we saw it, right? We were talking about GameStop last November, right? I did not call that GameStop was going to go to 300, whatever, 400. But definitely we were talking about GameStop at $10, saying, wow, this is a really interesting chart. Looks like it could, you know, have a cool move off of this level, and it had a very cool move. We were also talking about AMC. We weren't talking about AMC before it spiked to 20 in January. We were talking about AMC at $5, right? We were talking about AMC right over here at $5 after the crazy movement at the end of January. It came all the way back down to 5, and there was hidden bullish divergence on the daily time frame. And we were nonstop talking about AMC this whole entire week right over here. And then obviously the move to 70 eventually happened. And I've also talked about this previously on the stream, but I mean, Clover looks kind of similar, right? The crazy initial move AMC had in January is pretty similar to what Clover had in June. And then also you kind of went most of the way back down, but not all the way back down. And then you got into a very, very tight range. And then again, this is what happened after it broke to the upside. Is this going to happen on Clover? I have no clue. But, you know, if you're just going to compare the two, and if Clover does go crazy, and we could be talking in hindsight in multiple months from right now, but it's just interesting to see how things kind of repeat themselves, where we see some interesting technical setups on charts, and then weeks later, the thing's up 500%. For example, SPRT, we talked about it in the beginning of August. Did I call the SPRT was going to go to 60? No, that's not my job. I have no clue. I don't know what the future is, but we sure as heck were talking about SPRT when it was in the cup and handle right over here at $7. So, you know, I put it out on Twitter. I shared it in the Discord and the announcements channel when I put out a watch list, and there was hidden bullish divergence as well, and then craziness happened. It's just so cool to see how many times you have technicals really kind of boiling up together, and then boom, a couple weeks later, some catalyst comes out, or Reddit starts looking at this stock, and then some crazy move happens, right? It's just technicals can sometimes, not all the time, sometimes help you identify moves before they happen, right? And then one final thing for the CLOV chart, the inverse head and shoulders, right? We talked about how this was looking last week, and we talked about how it broke out of this inverse head and shoulders on the 4-hour, and now it's back testing the breakout, right? This neckline that it broke out of, and it's really not a perfect inverse head and shoulders. It's kind of a scuffed inverse head and shoulders, but it actually has been flipping that previous supply line or resistance line into a demand line or a support line now. But what else is in the chat? We almost got 150 people in here. That's, I think like 170 is our all-time high, if I'm not mistaken. I need to go check what the actual number is. But what is happening? We just went from like 140 to 160 in like 2 seconds. I don't know what's good right now, but we're like 20 away from like all-time high concurrent viewers on the stream. So we might be in for a legendary stream right now. I don't know. We're very, very close to breaking another milestone. So if you're not subscribed, there's definitely a good amount of you that aren't. Just hit that subscribe button, you know? I mean, if you want to send a tip, that's always there, but all I, you know, really will ask and spam for is subscriptions. Okay, I just want to grow the channel so I can help out more people and just teach about all these things that I've learned in the past 2 years, right? So thank you for all support, and if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Josh Tetras says, what's after Phase E and Wyckoff? Somebody actually asked me this in the premium chat, I think on Friday, and I said, you'll know Phase E when you see it. That's all I'm going to put it. That's how I'm going to put it. If we're in Phase E, you'll know we're in Phase E, okay? Phase E is... That's Phase E, okay? So you'll know if it's in Phase E. And also, I think somebody was talking about that Fibonacci I was talking about at 42. I'm talking about that very, very early. I'm not saying I'm calling for 42 because of this Fibonacci. All I was doing was giving you levels. And I brought up like 20 different levels from supports and resistances. It was just one of the levels I brought up in case something insane happens. I hope it goes there, but I don't know. I'm not calling things here. I'm just giving you levels and I'm letting you think whatever you want. I'm just trying to teach about technicals. Of course, I am bullish on Clover. I hope it goes to the moon, but it's not my job to predict when and where and how it's going to moon. It's just my job to kind of share what I'm thinking and let you think whatever you want to think, right? I'm not trying to change anybody's mind about anything. I'm just trying to share my opinions. That's all I'm doing. I'm not a financial advisor. So I don't know. You're saying that people said I was saying that. Yeah, I think a lot of people just, especially people who don't really understand what I'm talking about in technicals, just misinterpret a lot of things I say, right? So if I just do this, right? If I just do this, and I just show you that the 1618 is factually at 42, that does not mean I'm saying that this is going to happen. It's just going to shoot right up to that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just giving you levels. So a lot of people misinterpret that. So you might have heard somebody misinterpreting what I was saying earlier. I hope it goes there. I genuinely hope it goes there, but I don't know the future. So I can't tell you it's going to go there for sure, right? I'm just telling you that that is your 1618, right? This is what I did for the last all-time high. Same exact thing, right? So I didn't just pull out my Fibonacci when Clover was at $7 and say, hey, Clover is going to go from 7 to 28, which is the 4.236 Fib. I didn't do that. What I did was, after it started going crazy and it broke to a new all-time high, then I pulled out the Fibonacci, because when you're at an all-time high, you cannot look left on the chart and find resistance. It's never been at that price before, so all you can really use is Fibonacci. And I noticed that if you went from the previous swing high to swing low, the 4236 was 2880, and that's where I had an all-time high at. And I did the same exact thing. I think it was around June 7th or something, whenever I was live that week, and that's what we talked about back then. But I wasn't calling that. I was just saying that's your level. That's all I do. I'm not here to call things. I don't care about validation. I just care about technicals and just trying to teach how you can find important areas of value for both buying and selling on charts, right? But I'm not telling you what to do, and I'm not calling things. Just for newer people that don't understand all these things I'm talking about. And a reminder, go to the free course. It's in the description of this stream, and you can understand a lot more if you spend a few hours watching that. And I truly think you spend a few hours watching that instead of watching, I don't know, Money Heist over the weekend or Billions over the weekend. And I do think that, you know, a lot of the things in that course can make you a better trader for the rest of your life. But Money Heist and Billions are both great shows. I enjoyed watching both of them this weekend. Thomas O'Connell says, Champ's content is so good. Thank you. All right. I think we got really, really close. I think we're like 10 viewers away from all-time highs. I'm pretty sure our previous all-time high was like 170 for concurrent viewers, and we're like at 166 right now. We're like 5 away from having the most amount of viewers in the stream ever, which is insane. You know, like at a single time. And we've already almost got like 1,000 playbacks on this stream too. What is going on? I don't know if anybody shared out like my stream link in a Discord on a Reddit or on Twitter, but if you did, thank you very, very much. Appreciate everybody who's helping to grow my channel. I really do. But yeah, I'm just reading the chat right now, just trying to hang out for a little bit. We got a lot of people in here. But make sure you subscribe and join the Discord. And all right, I think we're at it. I think we're at all-time high concurrent viewers. If somebody can remember, I really think it was around 170. I think we just hit that again. So can we get some vibes in the chat for all-time high viewers on the stream? I mean, that's an amazing milestone. That's a great way to start the week. And I have to go to college for 12 hours tomorrow. So that definitely makes me happy, and it lets me not worry about that so much. But thank you to everybody supporting the stream tonight. Killaru says, you're the GOAT. You deserve more views. I appreciate the kind words. Seek for Bleak, thank you for the kind words. Whoa, oh my gosh, the chat's going crazy. Thank you for all the vibes in the chat. Where did I leave? And the chat's like explosive right now. It's like hard to find it like where I left off. I'm like scrolling all the way up. Oh my gosh. I missed out. Okay, I thought I was like almost done reading the chat, and I'm not even like a quarter way through. So we might be here for a while. You know, typically I like to look at more charts, but when we have streams like this, I think it's just more fun to just talk to all of you. Wow, I really thought I was way deeper in the chat. I looked at like a blimp of the chat. Oh my gosh, I might be here for hours. There's no way I can read all these chats, but I'm trying to just look for certain ones. And the subscriptions just rolling through. Thank you so much. We got BTFD in the chat. Hope you're doing well. Digging the brick ceiling. Yeah, thank you. It's not real brick. It's like I always forget how to pronounce the word. Cheddar Freeze and I think Neutron Flux Labs know the word. I always forget how to pronounce that word. It starts with an F or something. That's what it is, I think. It's like it's not a wallpaper, but it's not an actual brick. It's like a textured thing you can put on the wall. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's like a interesting word. Yeah, the T is right here. We got it. Evan says, CLOV is garbage. Why do you trade it? LOL. I was waiting for that chat. I really was. I was waiting for that chat. Let's see. See what I could do here. This is why I trade Clover. Okay. Since right up here at 28. Okay. So from pretty much right up here to all the way over here, myself and premium members, you know, have traded Clover calls 22 times. Calls, not puts, calls, which means betting for the stock to go up, right? 18 out of those 22 times we've had winners, which means that was a minimum of a 20% profit. So 18 times out of 22 times, we've gotten a 20% profit trading Clover. And a lot of the times it was much more than 20%. Like last week, we got 100% on Clover. I forgot which day it was, but yeah, this is why I trade Clover. 82% win rate. I don't care. You know, you can say whatever you want. Again, for long-term investors, you know, this might look like a horrible chart to you, but if you really go down to those lower time frames and if you know what you're doing, you can understand how to trade this stock, right? And I can't do this for every stock. It took me a couple of weeks to really understand the personality of how Clover trades. But once I got that figured out, as a trader, it's my job to recognize patterns. I recognize patterns. Premium members can back me up here. And we've done a very good job of trading it in premium. Now, swing trading Clover has not been great. We've actually had a couple of failed swing trades on Clover since that all-time high. Really hard to get a good swing trade out when it's just doing that. But day trading calls have just been bread and butter in the last 2 months. That's why I trade Clover. And we have had great swing trades in the past. We talked about this earlier. We swing traded Clover in January from 13 to 17. It was a perfect trade. I even put out a swing trade when Clover is at all-time lows, right? So, you know, it's easy to say things like that when you really. I'm not saying you don't understand. I'm not even hating on you. I'm not saying anything. You can think whatever you want. I'm not here to say you're wrong or whatever. I'm just giving you an explanation as to why, you know, I personally trade Clover. It works, right? I've seen a lot of success with it, right? From the swing trade in January, which was a perfect swing trade, right? Downtrend, but we still got a swing trade from 1320 to 1575 for a 20% profit right over here. Okay, I mean, even apart from that, this was the most probably legendariest. That's not a word. I don't think it is. But on the day of all-time lows, we used a harmonic pattern and got an alert right there, right around all-time lows. And, you know, in hindsight, let me hit that again. That worked out pretty well. Obviously didn't say it was going to go to 28, but that's why I trade Clover. Just quick explanation, not hating on you, not saying you're wrong or I'm right. I'm just giving an explanation, you know, to your comment. But it's not always wins, right? We did lose 4 out of those 22 options trades or call option trades, and we have lost a couple swing trades in this current downtrend. So I'm not gonna act like I have a 100% win rate trading Clover and I called everything. I didn't, but I try my best. What else is? I have so much in the chat to look at. Thank you for likes, keeping that like button. Shant, thank you for promoting the stream. I thank you very much. Appreciate it. What else? I'm just reading the chat right now. A lot of the chats, you know, talking about Clover, so I'm just kind of, you know, relaying that. But yeah, I know for people who have been in the streams for a longer amount of time, there's really never been a time where I spent this much amount of time on one ticker. It's just right now, you know, a lot of people care about this. I care about this, so I never want the stream to be a place where I'm forced to just do whatever. Sometimes if I just want to talk about one thing, that's what I want to do. I know some people here might want me to look at 300 different tickers, but we've done hundreds of streams where I look at dozens of tickers, right? So just, it's an interesting time. That's the easiest way to put it. So I really, you know, I empathize with people here who don't care about Clover at all and just want me to look at other things. You know, we are going to go over the ongoing trades and everything. I'm just trying to make sure for all the people here, because we have a lot here, I'm just trying to provide, you know, value to everybody. So just want to also say that for the day ones in here that just want to look at, I don't know, Fisker or something. But I am wearing the Fisker hat, okay? I'm wearing the hat. And I have some more Fisker merch I just got over there. I need Clover to drop some merch. But again, just because I've been trading Clover doesn't mean there's no investment opportunity. I also think Clover's, I can't directly tell you that it's a good investment opportunity, but personally, I think Clover has long-term potential for a larger move. And I know a lot of other people think that as well. So I'm not telling you that you have to go and day trade Clover. If you want to hold for the long term, you can make, you know, a lot of money there as well. I don't know if you are going to do that for sure, but I'm just saying it just depends on what your time frame is and what you're looking at Clover in terms of like how you want to trade. I'm not telling you to trade it, to invest in it. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just sharing to you what I've done and what's worked for me and what's not worked for me, right? That's all I'm trying to do here. Simply Sung says your content is much better than others. I'm a fan. I appreciate that. Tar Heel says I've almost got the most amount of vodka in my glass ever. Good luck, Tar Heel. A lot of vibes in the chat for hitting all-time highs on viewers. I'm still not even through the chat. I'm just reading the chat right now, and I'm like so far behind still. I think I'm getting towards the bottom though. Linta Glenn says, I love that you cover a bunch of different stocks. No matter how many times you have to repeat yourself, you're willing to explain stuff. I really appreciate that, Linta Glenn. I know tonight we're mainly just talking about Clover, but the market's not even open yet. I'm sure in tomorrow night's stream, Mehdi and the rest of the crew will be talking about a bunch of different tickers. I still have more to talk about. I'm not ending the stream right now. So, you know, it's definitely taking a little bit extra time to move on to other stuff, but I'm enjoying this very much. You know, for certain, there's probably 10% of people here that want me to move on and stuff. Again, there's hundreds of other streams where we've talked about so much stuff. Just bear with me for a little bit, but I'm sure many people here are interested in the Clover talk. Are we doing take requests as Maxime? We'll see. I don't know how we're gonna structure take requests with 150 people in here. You know, I'll just probably have to pick and choose, but we'll see. Not yet, and not for sure, but I'll try if we have time. KNOAR says, how high is Clover gonna get this week? What else? Maxime says, damn, remember the good old times with like 20 people in here? That was just like 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah. We definitely had a big stream crash. I'm not going to say crash, but like a dip in like, I think it was like April and May. It was kind of like the first time that the market really did pull back since I started streaming, but we came back stronger than ever. What else is in thy chat? Rooster says, Rooster, another day one. What's up? You can literally trade anything, make money. It's all about how you trade it. Exactly, right? That's exactly what I'm trying to, you know, talk about right here. NASCAR out saying CLOV getting a wild Wall Street bet buzz. What happened? I don't know what happened. It's really interesting to see how they block out Clover for months, and then all of a sudden the CLOV YOLOs are all over Wall Street bets. Nerve says, champs, CLOV calls, rocket emoji, join premium. Yeah, links in the description. I don't like talking about premium too much on the stream. Obviously, on a stream like this, it would be, you know, in my favor to just nonstop talk about premium, but that's not why I'm here. So it's always the first link in the description if you're ever interested. I even like put like a little explanation video at the top of that premium sign up page, so you can learn a little bit more before joining. It's always there. I'm just not going to spend, you know, a crazy amount of time talking about premium on the stream. Homeless Leaner says, it's funny to watch Champ wiggle out of anything remotely legally binding. Can't even say that word. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I have to make sure you all understand that, and then also have to make sure you understand that it's only just probability that I'm looking at, and things fail all the time when you're looking at technicals and charts, right? So you just got to know how to manage your risk, and that's why I want you all to watch the course. YouTube customer support is in the chat. Another comment saying, why trade Clover? It's a trash company that will fail long. My voice is already going. Trash company that will fail long term, so why don't understand technicals, trade something else? We trade so many other things, right? Of course, I'm mainly spending, you know, the duration of this stream talking about Clover, but if you've watched my other, how many streams are we at? Hundreds. If you watch my other hundreds of streams, you already know this. We trade everything that has a chart, right? So join the Discord if you're interested in that. I've just been spending the majority of the stream talking about Clover. Obviously, it's in my titles and thumbnails. It's what I've been interested in. It's what a lot of the viewers have been interested in. But again, this is all in the Discord, right? There's good weeks, there's bad weeks, but this is all in the Discord, okay? dozens and dozens of tickers. We have 44 weeks of these weekly sheets with roughly like 10 to 20 tickers on the sheet at a given time. So the trades are always there. So we're not just only trading Clover and only talking about Clover. Yes, I know the stream has been, tailored towards Clover recently, but we trade other things, and sometimes it works out pretty well. Okay, sometimes it doesn't, but sometimes it does. So yeah, just for newer people here that don't understand. And again, I don't care. You can call Clover a trash company. You can say Clover's going to fail. That doesn't offend me. I always preach being open-minded as a trader and respecting everybody's opinion. So I'm never going to hate on somebody for disagreeing with me or whatever, that's your opinion. I know there's other people, that really don't allow different opinions in their chats. But for me, like, you have an opinion, as long as you're respectful and you're not disrespecting me, talk about whatever stock however you want to talk about it. I don't care. Fisker, talk trash on it, have whatever opinion you want. Philip says, Charlotte, North Carolina, watching you. Awesome. CLOV family, let's hope this week we start to climb. Faith says, what's your prediction at market open? I know I've done that twice now, but again, for the people asking me what's my prediction on CLOV's high this week or my prediction tomorrow morning, that's not what this is about. I know a lot of people just don't understand that just yet because they might be new to the stream. And I know there's a lot of other streamers that will give you random price predictions and targets, saying in exactly 3 weeks, AMC is going to be at $5,000. That's not who I am. I'm not here to try and call things for validation. I'm not here to be a moon boy. I have opinions. I share my opinions. I'm not a financial advisor. I just give you charts and probability, and I let you do what you want with that. For a lot of newer people, that might just sound like, wow, so you're basically doing nothing. Well, if you stick around for a little bit, and there's always a learning curve. There's always a learning curve, and I love seeing it, right? There's a lot of people that come into this community that are from like the whole entire Moon Boy Reddit communities and whatnot. And they're like, oh my gosh, this thing's going to go to the moon tomorrow. And then just over time, they start really understanding what this game kind of is. And it's really cool to see how many people over the past year I've seen kind of make that shift over from being a moon boy into being, a proper risk managed technical and fundamental trader. And just so many people can attest to that in the Discord. Just look at the testimonials channel and how it can change lives, really. So that's really what I'm here to do. I know it sounds crazy at first, but watch the course. You'll understand a lot more. Yeah, JG just said that in the chat. Watch the course, lifetime lesson. And yeah, I love that message. Nor, K-N-O-A-R. Do I pronounce that Nor? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. It says don't feed them. Exactly. I'm not here to feed fish. I'm trying to teach how to fish. That famous quote. I don't know who the quote's from, but it's a pretty famous one. YouTube customer support. Also, YouTube customer support. Thank you for coming into my chat. I didn't even know that you were so interested in stocks. But shout out to YouTube customer support saying, no, don't worry. I have nothing against you personally. I just mean other people should avoid the stock unless they know how to size a position, have a good stop loss. In general, if you don't know how to position size and manage risk, you should probably avoid stocks in general. That's not financial advice, but if you don't know how to trade stocks, I'm not a financial advisor, but personally I would say maybe learn how to trade stocks before trading stocks. It doesn't have to be Clover or whatever. Maybe spend a couple of months learning about the market and stocks and technicals and fundamentals and balance sheets and the Fed and earnings before you trade. Maybe learn the craft before you do the craft. Maybe. That's all I'm saying. I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying maybe think about it. But yeah, for all the people who have different opinions in the chat, again, feel free to stick around. I'm not going to shoot you out of the chat and just block you. And by shoot you out of the chat, I don't mean anything crazy. I just mean like, get you out of the chat, remove you from the chat. That's what I mean by that word. I'm not saying anything crazy. All I'm saying is like, I'm not going to remove you from the chat if you have a different opinion. Feel free to voice your opinion. This is a very open space. Say what you want. I never get offended. As long as, like I said earlier, as long as you're not being rude to me or my mods or to anybody in the community, say whatever you want about whatever stock. We also trade doc. That's the good one, Anna. Yeah, the doc trade is, I don't know. Clueless in Kansas says, can TA help during the day if we have a big rise up to help determine where the top will be? Yes. C's Greatness says, I love the name. Great name. Says, Champion, you were legit, and thank you for your work. Really appreciate that. Shown in my backyard in California. Stream you in the backyard on the big screen. That's awesome. Who else watches on the TV? If you watch the stream on a TV, drop a 1 in the chat. I watch pretty much all of my YouTube on a TV. I can't watch on my phone. I like to enjoy my content. But drop a 1 in the chat. Actually, well, just use your phone, I guess. It's hard for you to type in chat if you're on a TV. Teach a man to fish is from the Bible. I did not even know that, L Train. Thank you. Donda or CLB? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. From what I've heard off the two, it's weird. I think Donda, if you're gonna say, I think overall, like if you just kind of give like an overall rating, I think Donda's a better album. But the interesting thing about CLB is like CLB has some, in my opinion, has some horrible songs, but also some really, really, really good songs. Like the first song, Champagne Something, at the beginning of the album, that's a great song. Also, the song with Jay-Z is great. The Future songs are good. So CLB has some great songs, but also has some pretty just boring, not so great songs. So it's like very hit or miss. But then Donda overall, I don't think Donda has any insanely good songs, but most of the songs are good. So it's kind of interesting. Metal Man 1884 with the $5 tip. Got some coins dropping into the lonely jar tonight. Says, keep up the good work. We'll be joining Premium this week. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Thank you so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy Premium when you join. But let's get some vibes in the chat from Metal Man 1884 for the first tip of the night. Appreciate that. Linta Glenn says, I spent 3 years doing guesswork on stocks after up and downs, going rich to poor. I'm back to breaking even. Yeah, always, always just try your best to learn. So we got a lot of 1s in the chat, a lot of people watching on the TV. That's awesome. Some vibes in the chat dropping in for Metal Man 1884. So, C's Greatness with the super chat. Thank you for a tip as well. $5 super chat coming in from C's Greatness any second now. The emoji of me fishing in the Discord is great though. Yeah, C's Greatness, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Got the clapping hands emoji or sticker in the chat. Let's get some vibes in the chat for C's Greatness as well. Thank you both for the tips. All right, so that's what we're gonna kind of talk about some other stuff now for a second here. If you're enjoying the stream, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and join the Discord. Check out the links in the description. So these are the ongoing trades. Like I said earlier, we don't only talk about Clover. I share trade ideas for free, but also there's the premium as well. But these are the free ones that I'm just gonna kind of give an update on. First off, the Neo trade, still at the entry, in case anybody hasn't seen it yet. Just broke out of a falling wedge. Hit the PCZ of a bullish Gartley harmonic pattern. Again, if you're getting confused by some of these terms, watch the course on my channel or join the Discord and ask around in the Discord. There's a trading questions channel waiting for you if you have any questions about anything I say in the next 20-30 minutes. Those are your resources to learn. But you have a bullish Gartley on Neo, broke out of a falling wedge, classic bullish divergence on the daily. Next resistance is 43, support is 39.50. Hopefully you can hold above that this week. BlackBerry, this has been a very, very slow moving trade. Still up 4% since the entry, even though it was up higher last week. I just want to see this hold above 960. That's the important historical level. It's where it bottomed out in August. It was resistance in April. It was resistance in last December. It was support in July of 2018. It was support in July of 2017. So 960, I want to see BlackBerry hold that. The X trade, this one was almost at the first target, now it pulled back. It's still up 4% since the entry. Hopefully eventually can create hidden bullish divergence on the daily. Maybe it is bull flagging a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit tough. Like, maybe you have to ignore that top wick, but maybe you chart it like this. A little bit of a bull flag potentially. But we'll see. I just want to see X hold above 25. Again, it's a 3-year cup and handle, right? So it could take time. Had a nice start to the trade. Kind of pulling back a little bit right now, but patience, maybe not. Maybe it stops out. You never know, but we'll see. Doc, I don't know what to do with this. Should I take it off the sheet? This is probably the longest swing. I don't even know if it's a swing at this point. I don't know it's gone up and down 2% in like 2 months. I'm just going to move on, and then obviously The CZR trade is up 17% since the entry. Hopefully, you can hit that second target at 112. And then the WYNN trade is still just kind of consolidating around the first target. Hopefully, it can break above the 102 resistance, which was charted when I put out the idea. Then that we already talked about Litecoin earlier. It's actually gone up a little bit higher in the past hour. Now this crypto trade's up 20% since the entry. This was alerted like 3 or 4 days ago for free to everybody. So just a quick update on some of the swings right there. Remember, the timestamps will be out after the stream is over. It'll probably just be Clover consuming the majority of the stream like the last one. But Medi always does the timestamps. And then another reminder, the stream schedule is Sunday night to Thursday night at 9 p.m. EST. I wasn't live this Sunday because of Labor Day. But Sunday to Thursday at 9 p.m. EST, mark your calendars, be here every night. On Tuesdays, the stream will be live at 9 p.m. EST, but you will not see my face. On Tuesdays, you're going to see Medi's face. He's going to be hosting Tuesday night streams from now on because I can't make them because of college. And we're going to have a few other co-hosts. I kind of want to keep them a surprise up until tomorrow, so you'll just find out who the co-hosts are tomorrow. But I talked to everybody today, or 3 out of the 4 people today that are going to be hosting Tuesday night streams, and I'm really excited for them. I think you're all going to enjoy them. So you'll be able to watch that tomorrow. Esteban says, what do you think CLOV squeezes to? All right, so there's been a lot of questions. I'm going to stop just shrugging my shoulders whenever there's these questions, but again, I'm not here to predict things ahead of time. I'm just here to use the past to anticipate potential levels of value, right? So in terms of Clover, I really need to see what it does on volume before I have any sort of a target, if that makes sense, right? Because it's still just within the 750 to 950 range. I need to see how it breaks out of the range to either direction, hopefully to the upside. It's very close to an upside breakout. There's, according to Bulkowski, about a 70% chance of this breaking to the upside because of the partial decline. But I need to see how it moves first, right? I can't just predict it before it moves. I mean, I can, and there's a 50% chance of me being right, but personally, I like more than a 50% probability, right? As a trader, I go for a 60, 70, sometimes, but really an 80% probability, you know, and those are not real statistics. That's just off the top of my head, but I need to see how it looks. And we've been talking about it. I have personal price targets, I do, but what does that mean? You know, they're just personal levels, and honestly, those personal price targets I had, they are some of the numbers I just brought up when I was looking at the Clover levels, which again, if you missed it, that'll be in the timestamps of the stream, but they are pretty much all of them. There are 3 of the levels I already brought up as resistances. Those are my personal targets. So I already shared the levels. I don't know how far it's going to go. I don't know when it's going to go, but hopefully it does. But yeah, sorry, I guess I was being rude kind of to the people who were asking before when I was just shrugging my shoulders. I just want to be, you know, I don't want to be somebody who just, you know, throws out crazy predictions for validation. I just want to share levels, and that's really what I'm you know, doing. Shant, again, I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name, says you're doing good, great job, thank you very much. All right, so we still got like 120 people in here. Got about 26% left on my battery. So we still got probably another 20 minutes of the stream. Keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and make sure to check out the links in the description. I think I've also read most of the chat, so I guess we could just take a request for the rest of the stream. As Braden just said, nothing here is financial advice. All right, how are we going to do this? We've never attempted to take a request with 125 people. So this is just going to have to be pick and choose. I'm sorry. I'm not going to look at every single ticker that's dropped in the chat. I'm just going to randomly pick some, and I'll look at some. If I miss them, well, you have an endless amount of opportunities to watch the stream every single night and wait for ticker requests and drop a ticker, or just join the Discord. If you really need help that bad with charting something, join the Discord or just watch the course on my channel. And you'll be able to try things on your own, right? But of course, you know, it's nice to have different, you know, eyes looking at the same chart. So I'm just going to pick and choose from the chat if you want me to analyze the chart for you. Nothing I say is financial advice. Don't request anything that was up over 30% on Friday. Why? Well, because I'm looking at these in the eyes of a swing trade. You know, if something was up over 30%, of course, it could be day trade. It could even be a swing trade still, right? Because it could go up 500%. We've seen it multiple times this year. But personally, I don't like chasing things. That's not my personal trading style. I'm not telling you that momentum trading is bad. If you know how to momentum trade, it could be very advantageous. Hopefully I said that right. But personally, I'm more of like a a continuation or a reversal trader, not necessarily like a Momo trader. So that's why I prefer things that are kind of, you know, moving along before the crazy moves. I like getting in before the crazy moves happen. I know some people buy high and sell higher. I like buying low and selling high. So don't request anything that was up over 30% on Friday. Don't request anything that IPO'd within the last month, because I need data on a chart to analyze it. And just another reminder, I'm gonna look at a bunch of charts. I'm probably gonna be wrong on a few things I say. So I'm not a financial advisor. Just giving my thoughts on what I see. So yeah, and Mehdi just put in the chat, go to technical trades on Discord and you can request a chart if he misses your request. He dropped the Discord link there. Sonny says, used to buy high and sell low before I met Champ. Sorry to hear that, but hopefully you're buying low and selling high now. I was gonna say something else. What was I gonna say? Anna, you are not new here. You just said, may I request one without an IPO? If it did an IPO, how can you request it? I don't know, was it a SPAC or something? I don't know. Silver. I don't want to talk too much about rumors. That if that were to be true, that would be super awesome. Like, not awesome like the stocks can go to moon, but that would just be cool. I would love to see Discord become a stock. I love Discord. But again, I don't want to talk too much about rumors until they're confirmed. And again, you could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I want to wait until the facts are out. All right, so let's get to some of these tickers in the chat. Keep hitting that like button. Also, if you don't request a ticker, feel free to just sit back and just learn about how I chart. That's how I learned. I just watched somebody else chart for 2 years. His name is Mitch Ray. He has a very similar stream to mine. A lot of the inspiration for my stream is from his. So just sit back. You can learn a lot. Yeah, we'll look at EVGO. Yeah, I'm just going to drop some random tickers I see in the chat. I'm going to actually look at Open for C's greatness first because of the tip he sent earlier, or she, I don't know if it's a he or she. And also, did Metalman1884 drop anything in the chat? I'd love to look at that quickly as well, if Metalman did. BBIG, did I put them out? Yeah. Palantir, got a couple requests about that. It's already on my watch list. Just DISCA, we can look at that as well. Alright, so let's see. Metalman, I don't know. Metalman, if you're still in the chat and you want me to look at something, drop it in the chat. If a mod sees, oh wait, no, Metalman said accept, hold, close. Oh, alright, I don't see any takers. Mods, if Metalman wants me to look at something, just at me in the chat or something, like in the YouTube chat and on Discord. Alright. So I guess we'll start off with these, and we'll see how much battery I have left. Sunny, yeah, we'll take a look at TLRY, sure. So first off, the trade desk. I'd say 75.40-ish is your most important level. It was your support over here, and it was your resistance over here. It was even your support on August 19th. It's also right above your 200-day moving average, so I just want to see it hold around 75-ish. I don't really see much of a pattern here or any divergence. There's a chance of hitting bullish divergence, but the MACD needs to start waning back towards green. So that's really it for the trade desk. I mean, closest resistance is 82 from these candle highs over here, this candle high over here, and then even this candle low, and then even a couple over there. So yeah, those are your two levels I see. It's just kind of in between them. I don't see much of a pattern. Remember, if you're getting confused by any of the terms I bring up, just look at the free course, links in the description, or join the Discord and ask around. BBIG again, I'm looking at these charts in the eyes of a swing trader. Typically, I don't look at charts on stream in the eyes of a day trader. You know, I mainly teach about swing trading. So in terms of a swing trade, we were talking about it over here, okay? I didn't call that it was going to go to 11 or anything crazy, but we were just talking about how it looked interesting with bullish divergence and a falling wedge around $2 to $3. And now it's just gone crazy. So I don't know. There's not any sort of, you can't get a pattern after a stock goes up from 2 to 11 in like a week. You really can't get a pattern off of that. So I really can't do any technicals on high time frames right now on BBIG. Of course, it's day tradable. It's maybe even is swing tradable, but from proper technicals, you can't get much of a pattern with a straight move up. So yeah, I mean, maybe on lower time frames, on the 1 hour, there is some hidden bullish divergence, and maybe a little bit of a kind of like a triangle pattern as well. But yeah, for day trades, that's mainly, I mainly talk about day trades, and I do day trades in the premium chats. But you know, for everything else, it's pretty much in the eyes of a swing trader. EVGO, it broke out of that downsloping channel. It's still holding above 878. The classic bullish divergence is playing out. It had the highest candle close on Friday, pretty much since like August 16th. It's looking good. This is a very good start. You know, it's looking good. Doesn't mean it's gonna do amazing for sure. I hope it does for you, Killer. I hope it does do well for you. But again, there's no certainty here. So you know, in the eyes of just an unbiased read, I just want to see it hold above 878. As long as it does that, it looks good to me from a technical standpoint. I don't know anything about it fundamentally, but you have divergence. You just broke out. You're above your support. As long as it can continue to hold that level, it still looks fine to me. And again, it all started right here with that bullish hammer candle on August 20th. So next resistance is still 1073. I mean, there's not really much of an update here. It's just, it's done what I think you hoped it could do, and also I was hoping for you. Palantir. I mean, we were talking about it down over here on the stream. Inverse head and shoulders is getting towards the top of this range now. 2750-ish is kind of the top of the range, so it is approaching some resistance. Not overbought on the daily though, so hopefully, I mean, this is a make or break area. If it reverses here, I think your closest support on Palantir is like 25-ish, around the 200-day moving average. Otherwise, your resistance is 2750. If it gets above 2750, there's a gap fill at 3130 on Palantir, so watch out for that. CEI, yeah, we'll take a look at that. Got it. Yeah, I'll take a look at that right now. Thank you for letting me know in the chat. So next up, CEI. Again, like I was saying on BBIG earlier, you know, down over here. And again, I know I am saying this in hindsight, but these are real things you can see in the course. It was in a falling wedge. That is a falling wedge. It had 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 touches. And it had triple classic bullish divergence on the daily. So if you're going to be a reversal swing trader, these are the areas that you look at. It was even slightly oversold on the RSI down on that dip. And then, you know, it was under 45, which from a technical standpoint, it needed to break above that. Look at what happened. That 45-cent level from September of last year, it broke back above it, and then it back tested it. This is what we always talk about. When you break out, it helps to confirm that breakout when you flip it into a support. So it was your resistance, you broke above it, and then you flipped it into your support, and then you really went crazy. So it had a very, very textbook breakout with divergence, and now it's going crazy. Surprise, surprise. You know, at this point, all I can really tell you is the levels. Your 200-day moving average is around 89 cents. Your historical support is around 68 cents, and your historical resistance is around 102. But there's really not much of a pattern at this point. The pattern was here before it reversed. At this point, it's just kind of, it's doing very, very well. Hopefully it continues to do so. And I know a lot of people on Twitter and when I have been talking about this, I just don't know much about it fundamentally. If it does go crazy, you got 102 as your closest resistance, then you got 142, then there's a gap fill at 192. And then after that, kind of like this 250-ish area is a little bit of historical resistance. And then even after that, the next historical resistance would be around $3 psychological levels. So those are all your levels on the chart zoomed out. Take a screenshot if you want. And that is CEI. FSTR, it's right at support, or right above support, $16. It was your support from the end of April. It was your resistance last October. It gapped down on Friday. I don't know what's going on with this one, but it's not been doing too well. I just want to see it hold 1594. That was even resistance from 2017. Wow. So that's the level I would like to see it hold. But look at this. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That is one of the cleanest ascending triangles I've ever seen, but it didn't really play out. Wow. I mean, this just also shows no matter how good something looks, there's not always a 100% probability of it going to the moon. I mean, it did have a nice move, but look at that. That is one of the cleanest ascending triangles you will ever see on the daily. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches on the bottom, 4 or 5 touches on the top. That is a beautiful pattern. It broke out of the pattern. It even back tested the breakout, and then it ran again. But this is where it should have went like up crazy. You know, if it were to be playing out perfectly, it would have broken out, back tested the breakout, flipped the previous resistance into a support, and then it should have done this. But it kind of just double topped instead. So it just kind of rejected that same 19 level and then just went back down. So kind of, it did have a nice move after the breakout, but it didn't really follow through as much as you would hope for. But just good education there. Ivan, thank you very much for the subscription. Let me change this song. Restart my playlist. 4 likes away from 150 likes. Keep hitting that like button. Just a reminder, I'm not going to have enough time to get to all the tickers. Probably just going to finish what's already on my watch list. But appreciate all the support. Keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting that subscribe button. Next up is PayPal. You have a gap fill at 296.92. And then your short-term support is 284. You could see that it was your low on Friday and it was your low on August 31st. So those are your closest levels. After that, you just got your previous all-time high at around 310, and then you got the 275 area as your previous resistance and support. That's your next support. So those are all your levels. Hidden bullish divergence as well is on the daily for PayPal, on the MACD and on the RSI. So that's PayPal. Next up is Snow. It's making a very, very nice move. I think we talked about this where all it needed to do was break above 267. It broke above it. It had a really, really weird dip right before earnings, I think, and then it had somehow a bullish pin bar back over that area, and then reclaimed it right now on Snow. It's just in a little bit of like an upsloping channel, kind of, maybe a rising wedge, but it's not really perfect. That's just really it. Next resistance is 328. Short-term support, I'd say, is like 280-ish from these highs over here and these highs and this candle low. IPOF, it's up 4% on Friday. It looks like it was just kind of chilling around that NAV price, or I don't even know how you say that, but like, the redemption share price around 10, just kind of consolidating there, sprung a little bit below it, sprung back above, and these are your levels on IPOF. That's really it. Those are kind of your levels. Take a screenshot if you want. I don't really see much of a pattern apart from that. Maybe it was like in a little bit of like a falling wedge or something like there, and then like broke out of it, but it's already been going crazy, so we'll see. Might be a time where fundamentals matter more. I mean, there's a lot of times where fundamentals matter more, but then there's also times where there's no catalyst or no earnings and all the stock just moves on technical. So you gotta understand both sides to it. Open, look at that. It had a bullish bat, it double bottomed at the PCZ of the bullish bat, and it played out perfectly. That's what you want from a bullish bat. It looks just like the subs, the monthly subs on the channel that we were looking at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, bullish bat played out. Next major resistance area is around like 21, 200-day moving average and historical level. Short-term support's like 1844 from these candle highs and this high. If it breaks under that, then there's a gap fill at 1638. Discovery. Let's see. This 26 to 29 area is a pretty interesting historical range. Not really a range, but supporting resistance. This is why we got to end the stream soon. Low battery, but it's been an amazing stream. For Discovery, I don't really know. I mean, maybe a little bit of like a descending broadening wedge. So you got 29.22 as resistance, and then you got 26 as support. But even also, you might have a little bit of like a triangle inside of a wedge. So this is pretty interesting right here. You got a triangle inside of a descending broadening wedge. So that's Discovery, and then TLRY, final ticker of the night. As long as it holds above 12-ish, it looks okay to me. And next resistance is 15. That's really it. I mean, we looked at this recently, not much has changed. It just broke out of a downsloping channel. You just want to see it hold above 12. It was resistance last November. That's really it for TLRY. I mean, I'm sorry that's really short, but sometimes there's just not too much else to talk about. Futures still relatively flat, but slightly green. Bitcoin is still right around its highest price since like May, beginning of May. But yeah, I mean, what a stream. That's pretty much it for the take request. I know I missed a lot, but it's just not, I can't do over 100. I gotta go to school in the morning. So yeah, just another reminder, tomorrow night I will not be hosting the live stream, but Mehdi will be. It will be on this channel, so there will be no confusion there. Just tune into the same place you always do, and you'll just have a new host and other co-hosts as well. It'll be a great stream. Make sure to be there, support them all. Thank you so much. I think we got right around our historical all-time highs on the stream tonight in terms of concurrent viewers, which is insane. Also, we might have even broken the likes record. I don't know if we've ever gotten 150 likes while I'm live, so I think we've gotten it a couple times like after I finished the stream and people watch the replay, but I don't think we've ever gotten 150 likes while I'm live. So, wow. Thank you all so much for the support tonight. This is a legendary stream. I'll remember the stream forever, really. So insane support. I still got about 7%, so I could just kind of talk to you all for a little bit before I got to cut out the stream. But thank you all so much for everything. Join the Discord, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I tried my best, and I got to wake up early in the morning. But yeah, what's up in the chat? Greystone says, are we listening to Gorillas? I don't know. This place is on like shuffle, but it's just like some lo-fi playlist on Spotify. Sunny says, what's your favorite class so far? I've only gone to college one day. It was one day last week. I didn't go on Thursday because it got canceled because of the storm. So I really don't know yet. I've only had 2 classes on campus. Kaylee, thank you. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Thank you for a subscription. If you're not subscribed, this is the time to do it before I hop off the stream. Subscribe so you can watch again in the future. Otherwise, I might not ever see you again if you don't subscribe. Maybe you want that, but I would like to see you around in the stream. So if you're not subscribed, just hit that button and you could stick around. Maybe learn a few things. Yeah, on the Tuesday night streams, there will be computers that plug in. That's great. Spiderweb says, love watching the stream every night. Thanks for all that you do, champ. Really appreciate that, Spiderwebs. Fisker, we didn't look at it. We'll look at it right now. How much percent do I have? We got 6%. Fisker, I meant to talk about it, but I must have just got distracted with everything. I was even wearing the hat. Every time I wear the hat, there's always something for me to talk about on Fisker, but we've been talking about it. The falling wedge, I mean, if you ignore the price target pump and then the offering dump, you know, it kind of looks like it broke out of a falling wedge, but it's still just consolidating under the 1455. I would love for it to be consolidating above the 1455 level, right? That level we had another legendary Wyckoff trade off of back in January. You know, we've been talking about that CLOV Wyckoff. This is potentially what Wyckoff can turn into, right? I put out an alert somewhere around here on Fisker back in January, and that's what it turned into, right? But at this point on Fisker, 1455, that's your level. Hopefully you can get above it this week. Kind of like really not the area you want to see an ascending triangle. You want to see it as a continuation, not a reversal, but kind of like an ascending triangle here. It just needs to break above 1455 before breaching that demand line. Hopefully the bullish divergence can help out, but that's really it for Fisker. I mean, it's not after PCC of the bullish Gartley. That would be at 12. So, yeah. Yeah, so we just did Fisker. I think that'll be it for the stream, all right? I know we still got 88 people in here, but battery's almost dead. We've also had a really good stream and I gotta sleep, so yeah. Subscribe if you didn't. Join the Discord if you didn't. Thank you for the tips, Metal Man, and C's greatness. What a stream. What a way to start the week. Market's not even open yet, and it's been a great stream. So I appreciate all the support. I think we just had a new premium member sign up. Actually, I don't know. I'll see later. But yeah, appreciate all the new premium members lately as well. Just hitting new all-time highs on premium like every single day, which is very, very humbling. Very, very grateful for all the support that all of you show me. And let's keep this thing going for as long as possible, all right? So we'll see what happens this week. Good luck to everybody trading in the market this week. Or if you're sitting on the sidelines, I hope you have a good week as well. So I'll see you all in the Discord, or I'll see you all on Medi's stream tomorrow night. But yeah, thanks for watching the stream. Hope you have a great night, and peace out.
on, so where have we gone? No need to move away, we got a place to stay, cause we don't need the lights over Paris nights. Never mind the time, together we get high. We will build our own little paradise, paradise. Little paradise. Little paradise. I'm feeling strange today, but when you stay by my side, colors shine bright. It feels like spring to me. When we're lost and alone, I know we had home. Where have we gone? No need to move away, we got a place to stay, cause we don't need the lights over Paris nights. Never mind the time, together we get high. We will build our own little paradise, paradise. Little paradise. Little paradise. All of the nightmares I had never came back with you by my side. Oh, you made me decide what I wanted in life was a paradise. No need to move away, we got a place to stay, cause we don't need the lights over Paris nights. Never mind the time, together we get high. We will build our own little paradise, paradise. Little paradise. Little paradise. One, two, three, four. I once heard Mr. Young say, it's better to burn out than fade away. I just wanna have some fun, live my life before today is done. I don't wanna set this all on fire. I just wanna live my life. I don't wanna burn the whole world down. I just wanna have some fun. I just wanna live today. Don't want to leave here and fade away. Everyone just pays their bills, and I'm getting looks, I can't sit still. I don't wanna set this all on fire. I just wanna live